nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
From the frontier days of the daring Pony Express rider to the more modern era of sleek, streamlined trains, our postmen have pursued the elusive goal of greater speed. Even while luxury liners churn their way across the seas with their urgent mail cargoes, powerful airplanes rush overhead to shrink even further this vital communication link which interlaces the nations of the world. Spanning our country from coast to coast, these airliners fly more than 1 million miles a day, whisking from city to city the airmail which has become as commonplace to most of us as the postman himself. In minutes sometimes, and never more than a few hours, mail is moved through the skies from airport to airport. But here's where the trouble begins. The haste apparent thus far subsides to a crawl, while trucks shoulder their way through sticky metropolitan traffic. Frequently, it takes longer to get the mail from the airport to the post office than was required to bring it by air in the first place. Not so in Chicago. Here, the versatile helicopter solves the problem. It all began in August 1949, when Helicopter Air Services Incorporated put 6 Bell helicopters to work flying the mail between Chicago's vast Midway Airport, the Chicago Post Office, and 50 suburban communities. With almost unceasing regularity, the maneuverable little helicopters, the modern Pony Express, get their cargoes of letters and packages within a few feet of the airport post office. The pilot then is cleared for takeoff, and the mail is on its way to the downtown post office. "18 times a day, good weather and bad, this shuttle run is repeated. The little orange copters whirl their way high over Chicago in a 10-mile beeline to the roof of the post office building, 238 feet above street level, where they settle down to discharge their load less than 10 minutes after leaving the field. The tight schedule allows only 5 minutes for unloading the incoming airmail and loading the outgoing mail, destined for cities all over the world. The job usually is done in 3. Cargo consists of everything from frogs and bees to birthday cakes. In 3 years of operation, the helicopters have made 40,000 uneventful landings and takeoffs here. His outbound cargo aboard, the pilot eases his helicopter into the air and points it toward Midway Airport. He glides out over the edge of the building above Chicago's bustling downtown section on the return shuttle. Back at the airport just 25 minutes after it left, the helicopter has made its round trip in half the time it takes a mail truck to travel one way. But the service doesn't end with the shuttle run. 3 separate circular routes from 90 to 106 miles long serve 50 suburban communities in the Chicago area 3 times a day. To utilize all possible flying time, helicopters are fueled right at the loading ramp as they await their mail cargoes. The airmail letters are picked up at the Midway Field Post Office, already sorted to speed the exchange at each of the 40 suburban stops. A check with the control room for clearance to take off, and the pilot is ready to guide his helicopter into the air on one of the suburban flights. To avoid interference with airline traffic at the airport, the Airmail copters fly at 300 feet for a distance of 2 miles before climbing to a higher altitude for a straight run to the first stop. Letting down gently towards the fence-enclosed heliport, one of which may serve several suburbs, the copter slides in for an easy landing to be met by a waiting postal employee. The outgoing pouch is placed aboard, the pouch consigned to the suburban post office is removed, and the helicopter is on its way. It speeds to another suburban heliport to discharge more of its cargo and take aboard the outbound mail, which shortly will be deposited at the Chicago airport. Airmail has come a long way since the Post Office Department pioneered the first regular schedule between Washington and New York way back in 1918. Since that time, the airplane has been integrated into the postal system in ever-increasing measure. Today, airmail is almost commonplace, and the speed it affords is used extensively and with great advantage for both business and personal mail. Airmail has a specific purpose, of course, and you wouldn't use it to send a letter to your next-door neighbor, or to pay your clothing, florist, or utility bill. But you would use it to speed an important message or package to New York, Washington, Chicago, Los Angeles, or to Cairo, Egypt, London, or Paris. Today as never before, Chicago is linked closely by airplane and helicopter airmail with cities all over the world. A special delivery airmail letter mailed in New York City, for example, now can be delivered to its destination in the Chicago area within 6 hours. Airborne at the International Airport, it arrives in Chicago after a 3-hour flight, goes immediately to the field post office for consignment to the proper suburban mail pouch, and is loaded aboard a waiting helicopter. On its way again, this inbound letter actually is accorded far more urgent treatment than the famed message to Garcia. Credit for this close timing and overall operating efficiency goes to the 40-odd employees of Helicopter Air Services Incorporated, which has completed more than 95% of its scheduled flights in all kinds of weather. At the heliport, the pouch containing the letter from New York City is transferred to a waiting truck for a short trip to the nearby post office, and even before it pulls away, the helicopter is airborne once more. This rapid service, actually an extension of the fixed-wing airmail network almost to the mail slot in the door, is firmly established as an essential link in the communication system of a bustling and diversified metropolitan area. In addition to regular and special delivery airmail, the copters carry registered airmail and air parcel post. Prompted by the new speed thus afforded with the helicopters, residents of the Chicago area increased their use of airmail 300% in the first year. Monthly airmail volume in one community alone jumped from 692 pounds to 3,500 pounds in that period. Weather is an important consideration in any kind of flight, but with the helicopter, it's just a case of knowing what to expect. Even while snow clogs the runways and temporarily defies man to continue his customary progress on the ground, the helicopters skip through the skies. Through good weather and bad, these versatile aircraft have made more than 40,000 round trips in 3 years. Copter people will tell you that their pert little craft can fly even when the ducks are grounded, and the experience in Chicago has proved it. During every flight hour, 6 helicopter landings are made in Chicago and its suburbs. Expansion of the existing routes is planned, and the day also is coming when passengers will be transported in the helicopters. This desire to bring the benefits of even faster airmail to more and more people derives directly from the almost phenomenal success of the helicopter operation. In 3 years, the 6 Bell helicopters have flown more than 1 million miles. They've carried more than 9 million pounds of mail, or to elaborate further, 360 million pieces of mail. More than 215,000 landings and takeoffs have been made without accident. The Post Office Department long has been alert to the utility of the helicopter, and to the far-sighted postal officials goes credit for pioneering this important phase of airmail delivery. Truly, this modern-day Pony Express, its aluminum saddlebags replacing leather, and the whirring of its rotor substituted for hoofbeats, has ushered in a new airmail era to speed the postman on his appointed rounds.